is instance variable? Member of a class. What is class variable? Static member of a class. What is local variable? Inside a method. Instance variable memory. When it is allocated? Whenever object is created. Class variable memory. Whenever class is loaded. Local variable memory. Whenever method is called. Instance variables in which memory block stored? Heap area. Class variables, method area. Local variables, stack area. Local variables, can I write static? No. Local variables cannot be static in Java. Can I write variables outside the class? No. Outside the class is called global variables. Outside the class variable is not allowed in Java. Okay. If I create 100 objects, how many copies of instance variable created? 100. How many copies of class variable created? 1. Okay. Class, can I call it as data type? Yes. Object reference, can I call variable? Yes. Is it primitive type variable or reference type variable? Reference type variable. What primitive type variable contains? What reference type variable contains? Primitive type variable contains data. Reference type variable contains hash code. Okay. How many ways are there to access instance variable? 2 ways. What are those? Object, object reference. When we have to use object? If it is required, only one time. When we have to use object reference? More than one time. How many ways to access class variable? 4 ways. What are those? Directly, class name, object, object reference. How many ways are not recommended? 2 ways. What are those? Object, object reference. When we have to use directly? If it is present in the same class. When we have to use class name? If it is present in another class. But in one situation, if it is in same class also, we have to use class name. In which situation? Whenever local variable and class variable names are same. How many ways to access local variable? 1 way. That is directly. Okay. See, what is the execution priority? Class variables, static blocks, main method. That is execution priority. If I give some list of variables, can you select? When we have to use instance variable in Java programming? When we have to use instance variable in Java programming? If the value is different to objects. When we have to use class variable in Java programming? If the value is same for all objects. When we have to use local variable in Java programming? To perform the task. Student roll number, which variable required? Student name, address, mobile number, mail ID, college name, class variable, university name, C language marks, C++ marks, Java marks, total marks. What is that? Local variable. Calculation part is there, local. Task is there, local. Okay, like that you have to select. These all you studied. Still variables not completed. Still variables not completed. Life of the variable, scope of the variable, concepts are there. Okay. See. See. See, about variables only many questions I asked. These all important only. The small a, which variable? Instance variable. Small b, class variable. Small c, local variable. Now, I which variable? I also variable, no? Local variable. You studied object reference. Can I call variable? Object reference. Yes, we can call it a variable. Primitive type variable or reference type variable? Reference type variable. Reference type variable, what it contains? Hash code. But here, this string is a class. Args is a reference. It is also variable. It is also variable. It is also inside a method. That means which variable? Local variable. But in local variable also, different names will call. This is called method parameter. Here I will call it as block variable. Block variable. Now, note, method parameters and block variables are also called local variables. Write this one. Complete. Complete code also write it. Whatever I given with the drawing also, that is also write it. Complete write it. Instance variable, class variable, method parameter, local variable, block variable. Method parameters and block variables are also called local variables. But there is a little bit different. The difference I'm going to explain. Is it completed? So main is a method. Methods not yet started. After completion of already you studied. What is class? Collection of variables and methods. You are learning variables. After variable methods. At the time we'll study about methods. This is main is a method. It is a parameter of method. That's what method parameter. Okay. This I we are calling block variable. It is C we are calling local variable. But this one also you can call local variable. This one also you can call local variable. But there is a little bit difference between method parameter, local variable, block variable. What's the difference? I'll explain. Every variable life is different. Life of the variables. Note down. 2 columns, write it. Variable life. First, instance variable. When memory allocated to instance variable? Whenever object is created. Whenever object is created, that life started. Whenever object is destroyed, that life ended. That's what life is object. As long as object is available in memory, that instance variable is available. That is called life. Instance variable memory allocated whenever object is created. Instance variable memory vanished whenever object is destroyed. So how long object is there in memory? That much time period instance variable is there inside the JVM memory. So in a CPU, hard disk, RAM, 2 memories will be there. All operations are done in RAM. In the RAM, some memory allocated to JVM. That memory called as JVM memory. That memory divided into 5 blocks. What are those? Heap area, method area, stack area, PC registers, native stack area. Total 5 memory blocks. That notes also are given. 5 memory blocks are there. PC registers, native stack area. 2 more blocks are there. Now, object in which memory block created? Which memory block created? Heap area. Heap area. Heap area object created. In that object, instance variable will be there. So, whenever object is created, instance variable memory allocated. Whenever object is destroyed, instance variable memory vanished. That is life. Class variable. Class. Class variable life is class. Whenever class is loaded into JVM memory, then class variable memory allocated. Whenever class is terminated, whenever class is unloaded, then class variable memory deallocated. So as long as class is there, class variable is there. Say, in this example, demo class loaded. At the command prompt, how will run program? Java demo, Java demo, Java C demo.java compilation, Java demo execution, Java demo. If you write this demo class loaded, at the command prompt you'll write Java demo, then demo class loaded, then class variable memory allocated. When it is vanished, whenever close brace executed class, then vanished. So how long class is there? Up to that class variable is there. How long class is there in the memory? Up to that class variable is there. How long object is there? Up to that instance variable is there. That is life. Method, parameter. Method. Local variable. Method. Block variable. Block. Method parameter life is method. Local variable life is method. Block variable life is block. Method parameter and method local variable life is same, but block variable life is different. Block variable life is block only. Now, block variable method parameter, you can call it a local variable only. Okay, but little bit different. What's the difference? I'm explaining. Is it over? See, whenever this method is called, this variable life started. Whenever this method close brace executed, this variable life vanished, ended. Whenever method is called, local variable memory allocated. Whenever that method terminated, this variable vanished. But block variable, whenever for loop started, that life started. When for loop terminated, ended. Suppose if else you studied. If something you'll write, open brace. Here one variable you'll write, int a equal to 10. Else, if you write this variable, you cannot access in else block. It is inside the if only. Outside the if, not possible. This is limited to this block only. If you write another variable here, that variable limited to this else only. So this if block, you cannot access in else block. If block variable in else block, we cannot access. For loop, inside the for loop only you can access. Now, this C, outside the for we can access. Inside the for also you can access. Again, after for loop also you can access. But this I, you cannot access outside the for. That is the difference between block variable, local variable. So, this variable within the method you can access. This variable within the for loop only. That life is ended. Once if the close brace executed, life is ended. Life different, scope different. What is the difference? I'll show you. Next, write it. Block variable scope is limited to block only. Block variable scope is limited to block only. Block variable scope is limited to block only. Method parameter and local variable scope is limited to method only. Method parameter and local variable scope is limited to method only. Instance variable and class variable scope is based on access modifiers. Instance variable and class variable scope is based on access modifiers. Instance variable and class variable scope is based on access modifiers. Say life different, scope different. What's the difference? I'll explain. Life different, scope different. But if you observe for these three, life and scope, same style appears. Block variable life is block. Block variable scope is block. Local variable life is method. Method parameter life is method. Method parameter and local variable scope also method only. That's what same appears. But instance variable scope is life is object. Class variable life is class. But scope is based on access modifiers. That is, I'll explain. Present access modifier learning is not possible because for that object oriented principles also required. How many principles are there? 4. What are those? Encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. Okay. If you want to use these principles, what we require? Class and object. These are called language constructs. Okay. You are learning still class and object only. Okay. While learning principle, you will understand this one. See, here, suppose what I will do, see here. The A is a which type of variable? B which type of variable? C which type of variable? D which type of variable? All are instance variable, no? Now, what I'll do is, don't write, present not possible to explain, just a little bit I'll give. Suppose it is a private. It is protected. It is public. Like this I'll write. Now, it is also instance variable, it is also instance variable, it is also instance variable, it is also instance variable. These all variables memory allocated whenever object is created. These all variables memory deallocated whenever object is destroyed. Life is same, but scope is different. It is private variable. It is protected variable. It is public variable. It is default. One variable. This is one more scope. Life, all variables life is same, but all variable scope is different. That is scope and life. It is there or not. That is called life. It is accessible or not accessible. That is called scope. Whether it is there or not, that is life. It is accessible or not accessible. That is scope. It is there, but we cannot access. We can restrict. That is called scope. Suppose if you set private, within this class only you can access. But if you set public, not only this program, in other programs also you can access. Like that. That is called scope. But when memory allocated, when our object is created. When this memory allocated, when our object is created. All same. Memory allocated for all at a time. Memory deallocated for all at a time. But accessible or not accessible based on access modifiers. So today it is not possible to explain this private, protected, public. That is inheritance topic also required. Then you will understand. Okay. That is, you will study further. But life of instance variable, life scope of instance variable, not same. Life different, scope different. Concept is different. Okay. Suppose scope point of view, I'll explain block variable. Just you observe. This is already covered while teaching for loop. I covered. Now you'll understand. Int I for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. System dot out dot println I. What will be the output comes? 1 to 10. 1 to 10 comes. Okay. File, save. Java C demo.java. Java demo. Output 1 to 10. Clear now? Now I'll remove braces. What will be the output? What is the output? Same 1 to 10. Because there is only one statement without braces you can write. Okay. Now my question, carefully observe. Here, semicolon. This is already over. What will be the output? Already you studied this. 11, 10, no output. Multiple answers are there. Think yourself and give answer. Syntax error 11, 10, semicolon printed, 1 to 10 infinite times, multiple answers are there. It is already over. This program also, code snippet also given. How many people answer 11? Online students? How many will answer 10? How many answer no output? It is not a new question. This concept also explained. If you write semicolon, it is like this. It is like this. This is inside the while for loop or outside the for loop? Outside the for loop. When this outside the for loop executed, whenever condition false, then what is output? 11. First, I value 1. 1 less than or equal to 10, true. Semicolon executed, but it is not printed semicolon. Semicolon is empty statement. Semicolon not printed. Okay. Then I becomes 2. 2 less than or equal to 10, true. Semicolon. 10 up to 10. It will become 11. 11 less than or equal to 10, false. Then out of for loop. Then output 11. File, save. So output is 11. Okay. This is only I written like this. It is also, that is also same. Okay. Now, this code snippet already you studied. That code snippet purpose I am not explaining this today. Today's scope purpose I am explaining. Okay. Now, this I, is it instance variable or class variable or local variable? Local variable. Is it method parameter or block variable or local variable? It is local variable only. Local variable scope is limited to method. This variable in the entire main method you can access. That's what. Outside the for loop also you can access. That's what you are getting 11. Suppose if I write like this. Now is it instance variable or class variable or local variable? Local variable. Is it block variable or method parameter or local variable? Block variable. Block variable scope is limited to block only. That means within the for loop only you can access. Is it within the for loop or outside the for loop? Now what will happen? Will it print 11? No, it is error. This error, we got it at that time. Already I have shown that error also. But what is that error? Today you understood with the scope. See, cannot find symbol, variable I, we cannot access. It is outside the scope. That life is ended. It is inside the for loop or outside the for loop? Outside the for loop. Now this error is not related to the semicolon. Error is scope. That's what you do is write both. It is better. Otherwise, you will think that error is scope related, semicolon related. Semicolon valid. First write this one. Output 11. Is it over? Int I semicolon. Now this variable is local variable. This scope is method. That's what you can access outside the for loop also. This is semicolon is there. You observe. Condition true, semicolon. Condition false, out of. Okay. So output is 11. Say what will happen is int I equal to 1. 1 less than or equal to 10, true. Semicolon executed. 2. 2 less than or equal to 10, true. Semicolon. Like this up to 10. 10, 11. 11 less than or equal to 10, false. Out of for loop. I value 11. Like this printed. Clear? Now, if I write like this, this is which variable now? Block variable. Block variable outside of the block. Can we access? No. That's what it is error. Write this code snippet. Error. Because I is a block variable and it cannot be accessed outside the for loop. Because its scope is limited to for loop only. So it is limited to for loop only. The scope is limited to for loop only. Outside the for loop, we cannot access. If you write inside the if only. If you write inside the else only. If you write inside the switch only. That is called block. Okay. I is a block variable and it cannot be accessed outside the for loop because its scope is limited to for loop only. This is the reason only at the time I written I outside while teaching for loop. Okay, that is object oriented related concept. That is scope. Is it clear? Understood? Now, instance variable place by mistake if you write class variable place by mistake if you write instance variable. What is the problem? Just you observe. Now, suppose one employee class. Employee number, which variable? Instance variable. Okay, employee number, integer, instance variable. Employee name, instance variable. But names are string type required. But string still I didn't explain. String will write like this. Okay, string. That string is also class. String also class. That's what is capital. That you will study further. Salary, instance variable. Company name, class variable. Static, string, company name. Like this we'll write. Okay. Suppose now here you observe employee number, which type of variable? Instance. Name, salary, company name, class variable. Like this I given. Okay. Now integer 4 bytes it will occupy. String, every character 2 bytes it will occupy. Suppose if you write 10 characters, 20 bytes it will occupy. That it depends upon character. Float 4 bytes. This is string. Every character 2 bytes. In a string 10 words, if 10 characters, if you write 10 into 2, 20 bytes. Like that memory allocated. Okay. Now 100 employees are there. 100 employees are there. How many objects you have to create? How many? 100. 100 objects. Then how many copies of employee number created? 100. How many copies of name created? How many copies of salary created? How many copies of company name created? 1. Okay. Now 100 employees, 100 employee numbers created. 100 employees, 100 names created. 100 salaries. But 1 company name. That company name all employees can use. Suppose integer 4 bytes. String, at least 1 character you will write. Okay, just suppose name 5 letters you will write. 10 bytes. 10 into 100, 1000 bytes. Here 4 bytes. 4 into 100, 400 bytes. Like that 400, here 1000, here 400, here 10 bytes. Assume. 5 characters only assume. But how many copies created here? 1 copy. Then here 100 objects if we create, total memory you observe, integer employee number. How many copies? 100. 100 into 4, 400. Name, maximum 5 characters assume. 5. 5 into 2, 10. 10 into 100, 1000. Salary, 400. Again, company name, 5 characters assume. 10. But how many copies? 10 only. Okay. 1000 plus 400 plus 400 plus 10. Total how many bytes? 1810 bytes. Okay. By mistake, this is also you written M instance variable. Assume by mistake you written. What will happen? Year 400, year 1000, year 400, 1000. Then 2800. Almost 996 bytes memory extra allocated. 990 bytes. 990 bytes extra allocated. Memory wasted. No? Now, by mistake, class variable place instance variable if you write, what will happen? Memory wasted. But program successfully compiled, successfully executed. You will get a right output also. But problem is memory wasted. Memory wasted, what will think? Output we are getting right. But memory, okay, 100 bytes wasted or 1000 bytes wasted will think. But not only 100, not only 1000. One bit also you should not waste in internet. Reason, suppose one website, one more website, both the website providing same information. Okay. This is occupied 1000 bytes. This is occupied 2000 bytes. Both the websites we placed in real-time server. Whenever you send request to get the response, downloading, uploading, you are going to do at the time. Whichever memory less, that will be downloaded very quickly. Whichever occupies more memory, it will take more time. But in internet, 1 second also people are not waiting. Okay. If it is little bit slow, will they use? That site is outdated. Okay. Suppose for example, you want core Java tutorials. What you will do? You'll open Google. Core Java tutorials. You'll type. First link. You'll click. If it is shows loading, will you wait? Second website. Why waiting? 1000 sites are there. Second website. That is also loading. Third website. Like that, whichever downloaded very quickly, that will become popular. Okay. So in internet, memory size also most important. 1 bit also you should not waste. Like otherwise what will happen? That site may be outdated. Because of memory may be outdated. But not only memory, there are so many characteristics. So many characteristics will be there. Application should be user friendly. Anybody should access without any tutorial. You should be able to access. User friendly required. And less memory required. Very quickly downloading required. Very more attractive designing required. Like that, many characteristics will be there. All are there, it will become popular. If any one characteristic missed, outdated. That will be happen. For example, you want to search for some information. Which site will use? Google. But only Google is there. Google is there, Alta Vista is there, Ask is there, Ask JVC is there, and Bingo is there, and ChatGPT is there. So many are there. So many websites are there. But maximum people, what they are using? Google. But why Google? Fast. Very quickly you'll get information. Okay? Like that. Remaining websites, for Google, per minute, 2.5 crores of requests coming for Google. Next website, you check it. Nowadays, ChatGPT also came. But other than ChatGPT, just check it. Lakhs also not there. Ask Jeeves, Ask, Bingo, Yahoo. Many search engines are there, not only Google. Google per minute, 2.5 crores of requests coming. But second website, which is popular in search engine, you check it, lakhs also not there. Lakhs also not there. That much gap is there. Google only top. Which is second also no answer. If not near to Google, that is lakhs also, maybe outdated also. Like that. Suppose one category, one site only will become popular. Suppose you want to download one video or you want to watch one video. Which one will use? YouTube. But only YouTube is there. YouTube is there, MyTube is there, MeTube. So many tubes are there. Okay. But all are using YouTube only. There are so many video websites are there. YTube is there, MeTube is there, MyTube is there. See. But all are using YouTube only. Reason? So many characteristics. Fast also, memory also, sizes also, downloading time also will be considered. Suppose you want to book one cab. Which one will you prefer? Ola, Uber. These are 2-3 websites only. But many are there. All are using first priority, Ola, Uber, like that. So many characteristics. Suppose you want to book one movie ticket. Book my show. Like that. In one category, one website will become popular. Remaining all outdated. That is happening. Reason, characteristics. Now, while writing program, even because of memory also, that website may be outdated. That's what each and everything important. Okay. Because of programmer only, that website may be outdated. That is the reason variable also important. See how much importance is there for variable? Just if I add static 1800 memory. If I remove static 2800 memory. See 1000 bytes wasted. Like that. Because of this one static keyword also, by mistake, if you do like this also, with this reason also site may be outdated. It will be happen. Because downloading time more. Okay. Suppose by mistake here employee number which variable required? Instance variable. Suppose by mistake static if you write. Less memory no. But what is the problem? All employee number same number comes. That is wrong output. Output is wrong also wasted. Suppose online results application. Any hall ticket number same result. What will happen? Outdated. So wrong output. Wrong output also wasted. Output important only. Any hall ticket number same output means no one will use. Next time that site no one will trust. One time if it is wrong, a mistake happened also, even if they make it correct also, they won't trust. Okay. In future also they won't trust. In future if they update also they won't trust. It will be gone, that's it. It will be outdated. Again they have to introduce with another name site. Same site, same name if they use also they won't trust. That will be happen. So output also important. Memory also important. Attractive also important. Downloading time also important. Every characteristic considered. Even your application should be user friendly. User should understand himself and he has to do himself without any other person help. He should be able to do. See, that type websites only popular. See, who is teaching how to do online shopping? No one is teaching, no. They are doing their what is internet they don't know. What is computer they don't know. They are doing online shopping. Yes or no? What is internet they don't know. You ask them what is internet, they don't give answer. What is computer, ask computer definition also they don't know. But they are doing online shopping. Because of user friendly. Seeing that user interface only, you should understand what we have to do with that. You should understand. That type application also becomes popular. If little bit hard to operate, all people cannot operate, no? Then maybe outdated. With that reason also outdated. If little bit hard, then it is also outdated. Okay? See, observe. Suppose you want to book a cab, Ola, Uber, like this, very user friendly. Anybody can book. And Amazon, Flipkart, this type of websites. Anybody can do online shopping, they can do. Some websites are little difficult also. Those sites no one will prefer. Even cost is less also they won't prefer. Because they are unable to do. They are unable to perform operation. Like that. So, that's what your variable is most important. Properly you have to select. By mistake, instance variable place, class variable, class variable place instance variable. If you write, many problems will occur. You have to take care. Okay. Now, in real time, which type of variables required more? Instance variables or class variables or local variables? Your answer can be right or wrong. Think and give answer. Which variable? Instance variables required more. Okay. Next, local variables. Next, class variable part is less. Okay. For all people, same value required. Then only we'll go for class variable. But maximum instance variable only required. Here, employee number, employee name, address, mobile number, mail ID, company name, so many variables required. Okay. Suppose if you take bank application, how many variables required? If you want to open bank account, they'll give application form. How many fields you have to fill? Okay. Those are variables only, no? Later they'll type whatever you are giving an application, they are going to type. Say, one bank account, if you want to open, how many variables required? Your Aadhaar card number, voter ID number, address proof, all those things, so many variables required. No? There, you need to select properly, you have to write properly. In that, maximum instance variables required. Okay. Next, local variables. Next, class variable. So, maximum instance variable required. Instance variables are going to be stored in which memory block? Heap area. That heap area efficiently we have to manage. If the heap area full, then system performance will decrease. That purpose, one concept introduced, that is called garbage collector. That is, we'll see now. Next, write it. Garbage collector. Garbage collector is a software component and it is a part of JVM. Garbage collector is a software component and it is a part of JVM and it collects the garbage. Whenever CPU gets free time. Garbage collector is a JVM component. Garbage collector is a software component and it is a part of JVM and it collects the garbage whenever CPU gets free time. First, what is garbage? No. Garbage means unused objects. Garbage means unused objects. See, garbage collector nothing but it is on software component. It is on software program only. What it will do is it collects the garbage. But where is garbage collector? Inside the JVM. Inside the JVM, one program. What that will do is it collects the garbage. Garbage means unused objects. If the object is not in use, that object is called unused object. That type of objects collected by garbage collector. So, this is memory management technique. It is also immediately it is automatically cleans the garbage. Automatically cleans the garbage. See, first I'll show you garbage in the program. Is it over? See. Suppose class demo, integer x equal to 10, integer y equal to 20. Which type of variables? Instance variables. When memory allocated? Whenever object is created. I'll create 3 objects. I'm creating 3 objects. Okay. Suppose here, how many copies of x created? Now, how many objects are created? How many copies of x created? How many copies of y created? Three days I'm explaining instance variable, class variable, local variable, everything. Now, in this program, how many copies of x created? How many copies of y created? 3 copies. Y is always not class variable. That static is their class variable. Static is their class variable. Static is not their instance variable. Okay. It is also 3 copies. It is also 3 copies. In a one object, n number of variables possible. Okay. Now, 3 copies of x, 3 copies of y created. Now, suppose you have seen like this also. System.out.println new demo.x. Okay. Now, new demo object created. That x printed. Okay. Now, this object data can be accessed second time? No. This object second time we cannot access because there is no reference. That type of object is called anonymous object. We can also call unreferenced object. After this line, that object we cannot access. Not possible to access. Then that object is called unused object. Unused object. That object is called garbage. But we are not going to clean. Automatically clean. Who will clean? Garbage collector. What is garbage collector? Software component. Where it is? Inside the JVM. That will collect. Like that garbage. Suppose here. Now, what D1 contains? Hash code. What D2 contains? What D3 contains? Suppose if I write D1 equal to null. Hash code replaced with null. Now, what will happen here? Object created. That object hash code stored in D1. This object hash code stored in D1. Now what is stored? Null. That means this link is broken. Okay. Like this link is broken. Now this link is broken. Suppose here D2 equal to D3 if I write. D2 equal to D3 if I write. D3 copied in D2 or D2 copied in D3? What is that? D3 copied in D2. At the time, D3 hash code copied in D2. D2 refers one object, no? That is also link broken. That is also called garbage. So, end of the program, D3 also, D2 also, garbage. Suppose if you write like this, 3 objects created first, X memory, Y memory, now demo object. This object referred by D1. Here hash code. D2, Y20 are given. Okay, 20. Next, another object created. again X, Y. Year 10. Year 20. This object referred by D2. Already I told you this arrow meaning, this address hash code placed here. Okay. Arrow meaning that hash code stored in reference. This is referred by D3. You observe line number 7, line number 8, line number 9, up to 9. Total, how many objects are there? 3. How many references are there? 3. This object hash code here. This object hash code here. This object hash code here. Like that stored. Whenever line number 10 executed, here D1 place null will be stored. Null. Whenever null stored, this link broken. Before 10th line, what was there in D1? Hash code. When 10th line executed, what is happened? Null stored. Now, it doesn't refer object. This object, after 10th line, can we print this X value, Y value? No. That object is called unused object. Unused memory. Unused memory is there. Then what will happen? System performance will decrease. Wasted. That memory is wasted. No use. We cannot access. At least that is memory. If it is vanished, that memory can be applied to other program. No? Unnecessary memory. That is called garbage. Now, D2 equal to D3. That means D3 copied in D2 or D2 copied in D3? D3 copied in D2. Here copied. Then what will happen? This link broken. Now, it is also points to same. D3 copied in D2. Previously this hash code. Now this hash code. Hash code modified. Now D2 also refer this object. D3 also refer this object. If I print D2X, this X comes. D2Y, this Y comes. But can we access this X and Y? No. Now these are called garbage. These are called garbage. Okay. Now, when this object become as garbage, in line number, which line number? 10th line. When this object become as garbage? 11. After completion of program, automatically it is also broken. It is also broken. Then this is also become as garbage. Once if the program terminated, that is also garbage. So, in 10th line, this is become as garbage. 11th line, this is become as garbage. 12, 13, 14. 14th line, this is become as garbage. Suppose you don't want, make it null. That is garbage collector collects. Like that. So that is garbage. If the object is not in use, that object is called unused object. That object is called garbage. That garbage collected by garbage collector. Okay. Write this one. Is it over? If the object is not in use, if the object is not in use, that object is called unused object. That is only called garbage. That garbage collected by garbage collector. It is a software component inside the JVM. Okay. Suppose first, what is garbage? Garbage means unused object. Who will collect garbage? Garbage collector. Garbage collector is a software component inside the JVM. When it will collect the garbage? Whenever CPU gets free time. Immediately it won't collect. Free time only collects. Why free time only collects? That is also concept. Okay. Is it over? Here in line number 10, this is become as garbage. Line number 11, this is become as garbage. Line number 14, this is become as garbage. Okay. But line number 10 only, when that is executed, immediately garbage collector will not come and collect. If garbage CPU free, then only come and collects. Okay. See, I given a here point. Garbage collector is a software component and is a part of JVM, and it collects the garbage whenever CPU gets free time. Free time only collects. Why it will collect in free time only? That is I have to explain. That is I'll explain tomorrow. See, for example, in your home, some garbage is there. In your home, some garbage is there. When you will clean, free time only will clean or working time only will clean? Free time only will clean, no? See, for cleaning garbage, you are not going to take leave in office. Okay? Free time only will clean. Here also like that only. Based on real world examples only, these are prepared. That is I'll explain tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll see Ganesh. Online students. Arpana. Variable life means instance variable. Whenever object is created, then life started. Whenever object is destroyed, then life is ended. Line number 14. Line number 14. Kailas. Close brace. When class is completed, that is line number 14. Anjali. Yeah, assignment I'll explain. I given 1 week time. After completion, I'll explain. Ritika. Palindrome nothing but suppose 4 5 suppose 4 4 5 5 4. If you write, if you reverse also, you'll get a same number. If you write reverse also, same number. This is called palindrome. Mahajan. Without semicolon, with semicolon, difference is without semicolon, next statement executed. With semicolon, semicolon only executed. Satya Nagajyoti. Google Classroom. Google Classroom. Already given, no? This is Google Classroom link. Next, yeah, notes I'll share in Google Classroom. Amrita. Okay, little bit slow. Okay, okay. Vishal. D1 equal to null, D2, D3. Like that output, just I explained that one garbage purpose. Sony. Recordings will not be provided. I don't have recordings. No recordings.